Today is February 23rd, 2025. This is video 3 of the Mongoose Special Edition Stranger Things Team Mad Max BMX bike. This is video number 3, so if you want to follow the entire saga, go back and watch the first video, then the second video. This will be the third video, and there'll probably be a fourth video because the bike is not at its final form yet, although it is on its way and it is close. So let's just be clear, this is close to its final form. A few things that happened along the way since the last video, I believe, would be the tires. Now, I've actually been through another set of tires since the ones in the last video, and then these ones, there was another set in between, and those were Kenda Contact. So I had 20 by 1.95 Kenda Contacts, which I really liked. But these are labeled Schwinn, but they're on the box, rather. On the box, they're labeled Schwinn, but on the tire itself says Innova. So I think, Schwinn just took some tires and slapped their name on the box and sold them at Target. Speaking of Target, I believe they are liquidating all of their tires and tubes.
What?
That's what I'm seeing out here in Southern California anyway. So this might be the tail end if you did rely on Target for any tires or tubes. I just did only in recent times, and right now I think it is the bitter end of that. So I picked these tires up. These were normally retailing for $24.99, and I think I got them for like $6.80 each. And they were so cheap and I love them so much, I actually got 2 pair.
How dare you!
So I got these here that you see before you, and then I got another pair on reserve for when I actually need them again. It's silly. I don't know if I'll ever need them again, but you know what? It's fun to have because they were so cheap. And to me, it represents the end of an era with Target not selling the tires and tubes. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but usually when it comes to these types of things, I'm not wrong. So this may be the end of the era for Target tires and tubes that I have personally witnessed lately. Okay, so these tires I really love. These are 20 by 2.125, I believe. Yeah. So they're actually a little bit bigger than the Kenda Contacts, which were street tires. And I know I'm going to sacrifice some speed with these tires, but man, I fell in love with these tires. I really love the tread a lot. I've only been on one small ride since I put these tires on, and I notice a little bit harder to pedal on the asphalt. I noticed that I cannot coast as long. Overall, a greater workload for the user, for the rider. But man, I love these so much. But I guess my point is I might go back to the Kenda Contact one day, maybe. That's up in the air because again, I love the knobby look on these tires. I really do. Okay, so what else has occurred since the last video? Well, I believe that I got new grips. I think these I did not have. I got the Schwinn donuts here. And to me, since Mongoose and Schwinn are owned by the same company, it to me is totally okay. I normally would not have another maker as visible as Schwinn on a Mongoose, in years past. But today, they got the same mothership today, so here we are. And they're the perfect size to have coins. The bicycle's a 2019, so this is a 2019 quarter. And this one is the special edition Women in U.S. History. This is the 2019 Massachusetts Lowell Wheel, and I thought how appropriate. Remember, this is the Team Mad Max, that is Max Mayfield from Stranger Things. And now this is a female on the quarter, 2019 quarter, with a wheel, with the Lowell Wheel. So I thought how appropriate, we got a wheel right above a wheel. So I thought that makes total sense for the Team Mad Max Stranger Things bike. Also today you're going to see all the pads here. Knee-jerk reflexively, I do not care about pads. I don't. And I usually ride without pads, but I have been riding with the pads lately. I have been. Just because of the Mongoose, you know what I mean? It's such an homage. It's such a legacy with the pads. I would imagine any new to BMX would be like, why the hell you have pads on your bicycle? Because I don't think any of the new BMX have pads, right? This is an old school thing, having pads. I'm not even a fan of covering up the stem. I'm not, but it's the Mongoose stem, and it's the classic, and it's vintage looking, etc. Okay, what else? The stem itself. Okay, I'm going to take these off in a moment. I'm going to take this pad off. reveal the stem that I had to get. I had to get a new stem because the old one was bent. I don't even know how the hell it happened, but the old one was bent. Pegs. Okay, I traded out the last set of silver pegs for these black pegs. I think they go pretty nicely. And then I added front pegs. I added pegs to the front. So I do a little bit of standing of pegs there, and I do a little bit of standing on pegs there. And I think having the black pegs looks pretty cool. And it was a better color combination, color coordination, better for me personally. Everything's a matter of taste, obviously, but for me, really representative of a nice color combination. And then, of course, I got the valve stem caps in red. I thought some red dice will pop on the yellow wheels. And the seat. Hello. Okay, a couple things. I ordered a black seat post clamp. It has not arrived, so I'm probably going to cancel the order. And at this point, I might just say forget it. Leave this seat post clamp because I have the silver seat guts. This is the seat that I got with the bike. When I bought the bike on Facebook Marketplace, it came with this bicycle seat. Now here I am back with it again, but I've been through about 4 or 5 seats. And now here I am back to the original that came with the bike when I bought the bike. So I really like the seat a lot. It's got actual stitching. It's a little bit of damage on the back. It came that way. A little bit of damage, which I'm not happy about, but whatever. It's still holding together. Still holding together nicely. I wish that it had silver rails. I wish it had silver rails. As it is, I have the rails. I have the seat about as far back as I can get it because I tried a laid back seat post and I bent it. My fat ass bent the laid back seat post. I may try another one. I may try the laid back that has that little extra bar there. You know what I mean? I'll see if that does anything, but I don't know. It kind of just left a sour taste in my mouth. So all I do is just back up the seat and just be satisfied with the fact that I'm not on a laid back. And this is a 22.2. This is I think 450 millimeters. Yeah, 450 millimeters, this post. And, okay, one more thing. I keep obsessing about this, yet I keep forgetting about it, and that is the hole down there. So there's a hole. One of the distinguishing characteristics, there we go. One of the distinguishing characteristics of this particular bicycle is that hole down there, and that held the kickstand when I first got the bike. Now, if you go down Mongoose history, you will see some frames do have the hole down there. Very rare, actually. And I don't know if it was indicative of being the California Special, early 80s, or not just the California Special, but the Team Mongoose, also the Super Goose. It's like some of them had these holes every now and again. But I'm not crazy about this one. Since I took the kickstand out, I actually covered it. And later on, I'm going to cover it with a 1971 coin, because 1971 is the fictional birthday of Max Mayfield. So we'll have a 1971 coin down there covering the hole, and then we have the quarters here, 2019, commemorating the bike itself. So the bike itself is a 2019, and then we'll have a 1971 down there, and because here on the Hawkins license it says 1985, so that commemorates 85. That will commemorate 71, Max Mayfield's fictional birthday, and this commemorates 2019, also because she's a female quarter. And I just thought it was so cool how it just fits so perfectly. These grips, I forgot these grips. I forgot the maker because I think that this coin is covering the logo. You know what I mean? But it's such a perfect fit, so I just glued it in there on both sides, and I really, really like it a lot. I just think it adds a cool element of style as well. A couple more things, the reflective tape. So I added reflective tape to the side of the handlebars, way down there on the fork, a little bit there, little piece there, and then down there, right in between the chain is where that is. Got a little scuff there, but you know what? Whatever, I can rip it off and put a new strip on, right? I think that the tape gave me that little feeling of safety that I am happy to have. But meanwhile, who wants reflectors? You know what I mean? Nobody wants reflectors. So what can I do? And that will be to put some reflective tape. I think it creates a seamless. I mean, they're almost invisible. I mean, sometimes I even forget that they are there. So I think I did good with that. The other thing was 11, who is the mascot of this bicycle. 11 is the mascot. Her arm, one day, I don't know, I think because I may stand on the back pegs, I think my leg knocked off 11's arm and I had to do a transplant. So that is an arm transplant there on 11 because my foot knocked off her arm as I went from peg to pedal. So I'm sorry, 11. Sorry about that. The good news is you can get this 11 figure if you can get it right now. They are liquidating these figures at Ross, and I have 3 on reserve now at this point. I paid one. I paid $1.50. The other one I paid about $1.50, and the other one, last one, 49 cents. So you can get an 11, a Bandai 11 figure for 49 cents at Ross, but you got to go right now. Okay, I think that is it for this edition. Again, there probably will be a 4th video because I might do just a couple of things. I may put on some other old school tread off-road tires. I might, and if I do that, I will make a subsequent video. And of course, I do want to showcase the coin when I finally get that. This was just a part of a sticker set. Some stickers. That's like a record, like an album, you know. It was part of an overall sticker set that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I thought, let me just smack that record down there until I get the coin. But I am still looking for a nice 71 coin. All right, you guys, I think that's it. Thank you for joining me on this saga, on this journey. No, I'm closing out the video prematurely because I'm going to show you the stem. That's right. And then I think I wanted to show real quick the 3 different ways you can maybe do the pads. I did want to show that because I am rocking the pads most of the time now, but sometimes I may just do a combination. So let's show you that, because here's all the pads, right? Here's all 3 pads, and then we're going to have a look at the combinations, the possibilities. All right, and then, oh, and the stem. Here is the stem to replace the stem that I had to replace because somehow the other stem got bent here. So what I did is I did an upgrade. I got an adapter. This is a quill adapter that goes onto the clamp style stem. So the clamp style stem onto the quill adapter, because you know this bike came with a quill stem, old school quill stem. So I got an adapter to get the modern stem, which I really like. So I really like this stem, I do. But sometimes we'll do the pad. So there we are. Here's the first example. Pad on the handlebar, no pad on the stem, pad on the what's that called? Seat? No, not seat tube. Top tube? Yeah, top tube. There we go. So that's 2 pads. All right, we're going to have a look at next combination, other combination. Now here is pad on the stem, no pad on the handlebars, and then pad on the top tube. This is probably the main way I ride because I often will find myself riding at night and I might want to put my light right there in the center. I'll share that in a moment too, but this is the stem top tube pad combo. How about this look? Just the stem pad only. No pad on the handlebar, no pad on the top tube. Just stem pad. This is probably a way I wouldn't roll. I probably wouldn't roll like this. But you know, you do you. Okay, how about this look? Only the handlebar pad, stem pad, and no top tube. Only on the handlebar. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think if I'm gonna roll just one pad, it's just gonna be the top tube pad. I think the last one will be that look, and then maybe just a solitary on the handlebars. Let's check that out. We got the pad on the handlebar only. See, I might do that. Top tube. Why do I keep saying top tube? No pad on the top tube, no pad on the stem, only a pad on the handlebar itself. I like this actually. I don't hate this because I like the Mongoose name right there. I want that, you know. The only issue is when I add the light. That's the only thing about that handlebar pad. And I think the last look is going to be the top tube pad only. Here's what I usually end up doing. If I'm not going to do all 3 pads, then I will just do this top tube pad only That way the Mongoose name is right there in front of the world to see. And then meanwhile, I get to just have clean handlebars and clean stem, nothing in the way. So oftentimes, if I'm not rolling all 3 pads, I'll just roll this one alone. There you go. That way from the side, you can see the Mongoose insignia. I did just want to revisit this real quick, and that is the Hawkins Bicycle License 1985. I'm probably going to save the bulk of this information for the next video, which will be probably the 4th and final video when that time comes, where I'm going to talk about, I mean, I've gone on such the rabbit hole on this bicycle. Rabbit hole to see, look at it. What's his name again? Gorgon? Jeez, I forgot his name. I forgot this creature's name. I forgot. Okay, whatever. So what I wanted to talk about real quick was the 1985 date. It's right there. It says Hawkins Bicycle License, Indiana, 1985. In my next video, I'm going to talk about how I think that there's this just weird time gap between when this bicycle came out in real life versus when they would most likely have a 1985 bicycle license on it. I think there's like a couple of missing years there, you know.
Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
Here's next time, and particularly how they relate to this frame and the era. A few indicators of this frame. Not only the hole there, 3 holes there at the brake. 1, 2, 3 holes on the brake. I forgot what you call that. Brake attach part. Forget the name. But also down here, the dropout. It kind of looks like a side face, like a guy looking this way, right? Kind of looks like a profile of some sort of creature or something. I like this, by the way, this as opposed to the original Motomag dropout, you know, different. I actually prefer these. So anyway, we'll get into a little more of the history and legacy of this particular bicycle, and not necessarily as it relates to Stranger Things, but how it relates to the dates. And then back to Stranger Things, though, because it does have a date there of 85. So anyway, if anybody is still watching now, you may be interested in that the next time around. That is about it, I think, for this bike today. I think I showed you everything I wanted to show, all the updates I wanted to update. And I'm going to put this video together and load it up, and hope you watch it. Hope you watch the first 2. And then join me when there is most likely the 4th and final at some point in the near future. Right, everybody. Thanks for watching. The Demigorgon.